The United States and French embassies in Damascus, Syria were attacked on July 11th as crowds broke into the buildings and tore down plaques. United Nations U.S. Ambassador Susan Rice condemned the attacks.
We think it was very important that the Council issued the press statement that it did yesterday, strongly condemning the attacks on the U.S. Embassy, U.S. residents, and the French Embassy, which were outrageous and utterly unacceptable. The United States has been very, very clear in our forceful condemnation of the violence and the actions of the government of Syria as it continues to violate the rights of its citizens and use indiscriminate force to suppress the legitimate efforts and aspirations of the people of Syria to express their political will in peace and freedom. And so we are very focused, as you have heard from Secretary Clinton and President Obama, on making very clear that what has transpired and the actions of President Assad and the government of Syria are utterly unacceptable, and indeed he is well on the way, as President Obama said, and increasingly losing his legitimacy. That said, we have not quite plainly been able to forge a sufficient agreement in this Council on a strong statement or resolution condemning what has transpired in Syria. That is something that I regret. I know many of my colleagues on the Council regret. We think it is not a good reflection on this Council that we have not been able to yet come together on that.
Meanwhile, Bashar Ja'afari, Syrian UN ambassador, deemed the events as exaggerated by the US and France.
We deeply regret that the delegations of the United States of America and France have distorted and exaggerated the facts regarding yesterday's demonstrations, which were organized by some youth to express their views with regard to the interference in Syria's internal affairs by the embassies of the above-mentioned countries. Nonetheless, in keeping with the commitment of the government of the Syrian Arab Republic to respect its international obligations, law enforcement forces made every effort to ensure the safety of those embassies, including by deploying reinforcements to help protect the embassies and arresting some demonstrators who are currently being questioned and will be brought to justice.
نورة فرج، العربية.